On this week's episode of The Fizz, we talk about what it was like to be bopping around Eastern Market for the home opener in an electric atmosphere in Detroit. After that, we talk about the Lions' Week 2 loss at Seattle. We touch on what was going on around the rest of the NFL. We make our NFL picks. And then after that, we talk about an unfortunate dog story involving David Montgomery in Grosse Pointe Shores. We do a dog draft. And then we do our over-under, which is a very silly over-under. But before we get into all of that, I want to talk about our main sponsor, which is Vosa.
The RTD vodka beverage has just hit shelves this summer in a big way. If you haven't tried Vosa yet, go give them a try. They have vodka waters if you don't like carbonation. And then if you do like a little carbonation and a little more flavor, go try their Highline, which is 7% alcohol by volume. Vosa. Enjoy the finer things. Hello and welcome to episode 116 of The Fizz. Thank you all for joining us. We are recording on Wednesday, September 20th. You are listening to this on Thursday, September 21st. I am with the main men, Ice Cold Brew Lou. How we doing, brother? Can you hear me? Oh, wait, your audio.
Yeah, I can now.
You can now?
For a second.
You good? Can you hear me?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm live.
Okay, Cash.
Yes.
All right, we're here. We are.
It paused for a hot second.
Okay, all right.
I'm live, baby. We're locked.
All right, the boys are all remote today, so we're testing out some new remote equipment. Lou's first time on it, so obviously a couple hiccups. But he's here. He's chilling. He's fine. I'm also here with Channy Football. How we doing, my brother?
We're doing good. Still recovering from the weekend, the game, but we've got a lot to look forward to this weekend.
Oh, amen. Okay, so as you may know, if you follow Champagne on the socials, the whole Champagne crew was out at Tailgate, home opener. We're going to jump right into the game. But before we do the game, let's talk about that tailgate. The boys were there at about 10:15. Would you say 10:15, 10:30 in the morning?
Somewhere in there, yep.
At Eastern Market, and the place was absolutely buzzing.
Should have been there at 10, but we had a little cameraman had to take a little dookie beforehand, so we buzzed in a little late.
Yes, that's true. So we all huddled up at HQ. We're getting everything prepped to go. Producer Mike, had all the equipment packed up. We're getting on the birds and the limes and the fucking mogos, whatever your weapon of choice was to get down there.
Downloaded like 3 different apps to try each different scooter out to make sure it had battery.
Yeah, I dumped like $30 into each one of them. Like, got hit with another like $100 tab on Monday. And then as we're getting ready to go, producer Mike's telling us like he's got IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and he's like absolutely has to shit now. Like, there is no questions, he needs to go take a dump. So we had to leave him in the dust, and he had to catch up with us later. But other than that, pretty seamless first tailgate.
It was. You know what? First game for me in 5 years, and it was a way different feel. I mean, everyone was in a great mood. It almost felt like a holiday. Like, I know it was opening weekend, but it felt like opening day for the Tigers down at Eastern Market this past weekend. It was a great mood. Everyone was really welcoming, too. I mean, obviously, we were walking around, and I didn't know if we were going to get footage or how much footage or what type of interaction we were getting, but it was so much fun, had a lot of fun. And I just thought, this can't be the only tailgate that we do as a crew this year. It's got to be a weekly thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, Chandler. And this was probably like maybe the 5th home opener that I try to make it. I know, Frank, you kind of do the same thing, but I try to make it a regular thing to, hit the home opener, because in years past, it's like this team probably is going to stink. So I want to make sure that I at least get one home game under my belt. And this was definitely by far, especially compared to last year when we played the Eagles in the home opener, the city was absolutely buzzing. I mean, one of my favorite parts about Eastern Market was half the people there just went by a nickname, whether it was the Pilgrim, whether it was Lion Eyes, whether it was the Crack Man.
Dude.
I mean, nobody went by their actual government name.
No, there were no real names. And I actually wrote all the ones down I could remember. So we met, and let me know if I'm missing anybody here, but we met the Tub Gators, we met the Pilgrim, we met Ms. V, we met Lion Eyes, we met Detroit Cardon, we met the Lion Kings, we met Smokey the Dog. Who was that guy? You said Crank or Crunch? What the hell is his name?
The Crack Man.
Yeah, the Crack Man. We met Crack Man.
Then we met the whole the Blue Crew.
We met the entire Blue Crew. We met the Predator. And then we also met they didn't have names, but there was two people with an IV injecting themselves with an IV.
The smoking baby.
Don't forget the smoking baby. Yes, and we met the smoking
That was incredible.
Baby. Yes, and I couldn't agree more. And you said it exactly right, Lou. I go to the home opener every year because obviously the Lions haven't been good like in our entire life. This is the most anticipated season, but you go to that first game because number one, you get the nicest weather. Number two, you get the highest and best attitudes there is. And even for yourself, like you're just going in like,
100%.
fuck it, it's home opener. And then the weather gets shittier, the team gets shittier, and you watch it all. You watch it all at home. But this year, without a doubt, compared to the last couple of years, like there's always like a silly excitement every year, like whether like kind of like almost like a sarcastic excitement. Like, here we go, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's actually like you're like, I don't know, maybe they could do some things, and people are like laughing at you. And this year it was totally like, no, we have a real fucking team, and we're gonna beat the doors off Seattle, and we actually believe that. Granted, it didn't turn out that way, but the energy was fucking just electric during that tailgate.
Yeah, it was absolutely buzzing down there. By far, like one of the craziest I've seen from like a tailgate standpoint. And I usually don't do the Eastern Market tailgate. I'm usually over by Greektown, walking around the tents over there, a little more like of the bar scene, I guess you could say. And it was awesome to like get back to Eastern Market. And like at the end of the day, that's like the roots of the fan base there. Like that is the foundation, the tree, the trunk. The leaves are hanging out at the bar. But the roots and the trunk, they are at Eastern Market.
Dude, it feels like Detroit. Like, it feels like very, very Detroit there. Like,
yeah.
And that's where,
and
like,
it was fucking lawless, dude. Like, we were walking around with beers open-handed right by the cop, like, buying them from the guys in the cooler on the corner, waving at people. Like,
fuck drinking them, like, being like that was funny when we bought that beer. I'm like, you guys think this is cool? And it's like a guy just sold it with cash out of a cooler to you. Like, that is much more illegal than like an open container.
Yes. Awesome stuff, man. I mean, the tailgate was fucking incredible. Just bottom line. Yeah.
So for those of you that haven't seen it, we got a whole like 4-minute video up on all the channels. I'm still chopping clips up from that thing. There's clips on that we're gonna have for a long time. But I mean, just to meet all those people and like the Blue Crew and like there is truly like I know there are some fan bases that truly have all those characters and all that, but there's no way like all of them do. And the fact that the Lions have been so bad for so long and you still have those type of people who have spent that amount of money. How about the guy showing me the patches on his jacket? And like,
oh, he was so proud of that jacket, dude.
So proud of that fucking jacket. And like, those people are just like salt of the earth. Like, all they want is their Lions to be like mildly good. And it's like, they haven't even been able to fucking like deliver.
They're like, I've been a season ticket holder for 25 years. I've been a season ticket holder for 30 years. It's like, are you fucking sick in the head?
Well, that's what I was just about to comment, Lou. Like, I'm surprised how many people were 20-plus year ticket holders for how bad they've been for that duration and how, like, energetic and excited they, like, most of the people I know that have been around the team forever are just beat to hell. Like, these people were ready to rock.
Yes, dude. Oh my God. Talk to my dad, and he's just like over it. Like he's just like downtrodden, and like he's just so like jaded about the whole fucking experience. And like, but these people like truly have like the disease. Like they're just, I mean, maybe we do too. I mean, hell, it's like not like we weren't out there all fucking like we had masks on in fucking 100-degree heat. It's not like we were like fucking sipping tea and being polite out there.
No,
Frank was cutting weight for a fight wearing the turtleneck and the mask. I mean, the guy was dripping.
I got bad weather news, man. Weather podcast. I got bad weather intel. It was fucking.
They like made it sound like it was gonna rain and be overcast all day. It was like sunny and fucking 75, dude.
Yeah, and dude, like just like the receptiveness. So that was the first time we've done a man on the street anything, and that was like the most receptive. I couldn't believe how excited people were to like talk to us and follow us around and like just scream into the microphone. Like, I'm curious how that's going to be, you know, if we're fucking 2-6 and it's the middle of fucking, you know, October, November. I don't even want to think like that, but
yeah, don't talk like that,
yeah,
Frank. Come on.
No, it's I don't believe that's going to be the case, but yeah, I'm just everyone was like so fucking excited.
They were, and everyone was like super nice, and they were down to fucking tell their story, talk shit. They fed us. The one guy with the tendered steak, the guy was just feeding me straight from the tongs, dude, tongue to mouth.
Yeah, and then the one guy gave us the Kool-Aid. Who like we asked?
You got Kool-Aid from the other lady with the mask as well, too, right?
Miss V.
Yeah, Miss V.
Yeah, Miss V.
I just held her drink. I wouldn't dare take a sip of. I didn't get permission to take a sip of that, and I wasn't touching.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, no, but
it wasn't Kool-Aid. It was tequila.
Yeah, she reprimanded us very quick on that. And the Kool-Aid though that the guy gave us, I just thought that was like pretty funny because like we're like, what is this? You know, stranger on the street. You know,
yeah,
and he's pouring it out of this unmarked thing. It's like that could have just been like a tub of like GHB. Like we could have just got date rape drugged, like right there, like no questions asked. But yeah, he didn't tell us what it was. He just said it was like loyalty and grit.
Oh,
yeah.
Who would you say your like highlight person of the tailgate was?
Highlight person. I mean, the Tub Gators were absolutely insane. The Pilgrim calling himself the Pilgrim, I thought was
incredible.
Was absolutely like hilarious. It's hard for me to say. I thought our boy, I keep forgetting, Crackman.
Yeah,
Crackman kind of brings like the best energy. It's like that old man, like gritty, like assembly line kind of mentality. So I really like
working at the Ford plant, just put Chandler's truck together.
Yeah. I really like that. Smoking Baby. Me and him were kind of boys. So I'll go with Smoking Baby.
I like the guy who was probably in his mid-20s humping the mic, saying Pete Carroll was taking dick, you know, doing the degenerate
their tracks.
Yes, the DX chopping the socket into the mic. I think that was my MVP for the weekend tailgate.
That was awesome. And then he was yelling about Obama's first term in 2005. It's like, no, it wasn't.
I think he was making reference to how long Pete Carroll had been taking it or sucking dick or something like that. That was a guy who, he's got an internship somewhere that he woke up, found that video and was like, oh God, what have I done?
I hope my boss doesn't see this.
No, he didn't give a fuck.
My favorite would have to be that little chubby 10-year-old that we bombarded. And he was, I forgot what he said, but he was like, we're going to beat him up. Go Lions!
He roared for us.
And he was flexing and roaring.
And
his dad's like, Billy, is everything okay over there? He's like, shut the fuck up, Dad.
He rocked. And when he did, he gave the score and he goes, it's going to be Lions 31, Seahawks 7. Roar, go Lions! I was like, dude, we're not losing this game. We're not losing this game. And I really, the amount of predictions, the amount of blowouts we thought, I thought we just had it in the bag. Thought we absolutely had it in the bag. So do you want to talk about going to the actual game now?
You're back. You froze up on us a little bit.
You froze up a little bit on us,
Oh,
Frank.
no. Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not. Maybe it's because we got 3 guys going this time, so it's not as strong. But I was just basically saying, do you guys want to – let's talk about going to the game. Let's talk about the game now.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, I mean, I think we can all agree. We got into the stadium. I think when we got in, it was probably 1:45. It was 15 minutes prior to the game. I don't know if there was 100 seats not filled at that point. in time. There was every seat filled. It was Honolulu blue. There were more lime green security shirts than lime green Seahawks shirts. The energy was insane from the opening kickoff to the first play. You couldn't hear yourself think. I mean, I don't think we sat down more than 25% of the game, and no one around us did either. It was just one of those games where you stood the whole game. The energy was there. It was fun. I know we didn't win, but that atmosphere, if you can replicate that, not only just for the Lions, but any sporting event you go to, that's what it's about. But we had a blast. Obviously, there were things that happened during the game that I know you guys can touch on, but all in all, like, I've been to a couple big games at Ford Field now. Giants Monday night, Jets Monday night, Broncos Sunday night. This by far was the loudest and most energetic and best energy I've personally ever seen in Ford Field.
Yeah, I agree, Chandler. And like everyone who sat around us was awesome because, like you said, we were standing up screaming "fuck" and "dumbass" and bitching at every single call possibly made, and everyone around us is just slapping hands. They're like, "Are you guys like season ticket holders? Because you should sit here every Sunday for the home games."
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, like walking into the stadium, it was fucking electric. Like you couldn't even move once you got close to what's that bar across the street from Ford Field? Elwood. Yeah. Once we got like down that strip of Elwood, it was literally fucking elbow to asshole. People just having the best time, dude. Tin roof was exploding by the roof. I'm surprised the building didn't fucking collapse. Like it was electric, dude. And like you said, it was definitely the most rowdy I've ever heard. Ford Field. It was fucking such a good time, man. And the only thing that sucked was the fucking loss in overtime, really.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just second everything you guys said. Just like specific things I remember, like walking in the sea of blue, the music's going. The lasers are going, like it's kind of like a smoky atmosphere in there because they got the tunnel shit going. And then CJ Gardner-Johnson comes out first and he's rocking the fucking mask. And that was just like, that's when the place, to me, it was like absolutely vibrating. And that was definitely the most electric of a Ford Field Detroit Lions game I've ever been to. With the last few years going to the home openers, 2 years ago we played San Fran. They travel like fucking probably better than any team in the NFL. So there was actually a lot of red there. And that's when the Lions were full gutter trash, like Campbell's first season. And like there was a lot of red. The energy just wasn't like, it was like a joke. Like we were 10-point dogs or something like that. It wasn't there. Eagles last year, still people weren't too excited about it for the team. And it was fun, but it was more of like a social event. This one, it was just like, locked in, dialed in crowd, staring at every single play. And when I really discovered there weren't a lot of Seahawks fans there was the opening handoff to Kenneth Walker, and he picked up like 11 yards, and the stadium just went dead silent. Like that was the moment I was like, oh, this is all Detroit. This is 65,000 deep Detroit Lions fans. And it was like so crazy quiet. I thought it was even crazier, like how quiet it would go versus how loud it would get when Detroit would do something nuts. So I mean,
I gotta say that the fans were 100% behind the missed field goal for the Seahawks, multiple offsides penalties. I mean, it was buzzing.
Yeah, few false starts. I gotta say, and I said this to you guys during the game, just a couple of game notes. The infield announcer guy, I don't know. He sounds like kind of dorky. I don't know who they got doing that, but it was just like, that's another one pride false start. And I just felt like it needs to be just like a really burly, gritty man, like growling almost. I just like they need to switch that guy out without a doubt.
And that's another Detroit Lions first down.
Yeah, I wanted to be like some guy like barking at me. I want him like yelling at me. I want it to be someone
a little too soft.
That was the most I've stayed in my seat in a Lions game too, in a really long time. Normally I'm bouncing around the concourse and stuff like that, but I was in the seat for most of that game.
Yeah, and by in the seat, you mean standing up in front of your seat.
We were standing the whole time.
And
yes.
and that was the longest I've ever worn any type of mask for. Like, even in Halloween, when I was fucking 12 years old, wandering around trick-or-treating, like, I think I took that mask off in there for maybe 10 minutes total of the whole entire time we were in the stadium.
Dude, yes. Dude, the amount of, like, literal shit I was carrying around was fucking bonkers. Like, I had the mask going. Every time I put the mask on, the chain would come off. I had to, like, pop the sunglasses on and off. I was like, I just had too much going on. Like, I needed to, like, take shit off of my, like, head and neck area. I had, like, way too much.
I was trying to eat, like, a piece of pizza through the mask hole, and I was fucking nibbling on it like a goddamn fucking bird.
Yeah.
The super slice.
Yeah, the super slice. Mike comes back with the fucking 4x6 slice, and I'm fucking nibbling the corner of it off.
Just refusing
that was a
to
late
take
round pick of Frank's right there, wasn't it? Or was it your second round pick?
I picked hot dog first overall.
Yep, first, okay. And then you did corn dog on the way back, I know, but that I saw a lot of super slices, Frank. Yeah. I think you nailed that with the popularity in your draft last week. I was seeing orange boxes littered throughout our section and the section next to us.
It's just like the hot dog is the best, but it's almost like novelty. Like, it doesn't fill you up. Like, the super slice actually has some substance to it.
Yeah, the hot dog does nothing for you, especially when you're just like nonstop drinking. I actually ended up getting a free pretzel with cheese in like the middle to the end of the third quarter. So I'm in line at the concession in between and it was like literally right when they stopped serving booze. Cause I was like, all right, I'm all out of beer. We stopped seeing that guy go up and down the aisles with the bucket. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go grab, I might as well get a pretzel while I'm in line. So I get a pretzel, I get the cheese. I'm opening the fridge to get my beer out because it's those self-serve ones. Yeah. And the lady comes fucking roaring out from behind the corner, put that down. It's over. No more. So I'm like, fuck. So I put the beer back in there. I just walk out of the line with the pretzel and the cheese. I was like, fuck you. I'm eating this then.
So you stole it.
Well, it depends how you look at it.
You didn't get a free one. No, you didn't. You stole it.
Self-incrimination, man.
Yeah, like on a recorded line.
They gave it to me. It was so nice.
I was like, oh, did she give him a free pretzel because Booze Bag couldn't have another fucking beer? No, he just stole it. He just fucking stole it. Jesus.
I got a free pretzel. No, you walked away with the stolen pretzel.
Yeah, no, dude, you stole it, man.
So it's not free?
Yeah, no, man, you stole it. I got a free one, Your Honor.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh.
Hey, no beer, no pay.
You're a sick fuck. You're a sick fuck. Okay, the actual fucking game. Lions lose. Lions lose in overtime. The notes I have, they should have won the game fucking 10 different ways. For me, for a lot of you guys I know, probably really fucking disheartening after halftime. Up 14-7. Vibes are pretty high. We got a 7-point lead at home, getting the ball back with a top 5 offense. And David Montgomery, first play, 2 seconds into half, fumbles. Seahawks pick it up. They score 2 plays later. Now we got a whole new game on our hands. To me, that was the huge turning point. And then the other one was more on coaching, if you ask me, is when we were up 21-7 in the third. Campbell goes for it on 4th and 2 at his own 45. They fail. Seahawks go right down and score a touchdown. We get the ball back, throw a pick 6. Now we're down 10 points. To me, those 2 sequences are very much the fork in the road of where we blew this game. And I think Campbell, of all of that, going for it on 4th and 2 at the 45 is what I'm most upset about, because that was, why not just, we have the highest paid punter in the NFL. Why not use him, punt inside the 10, and make it a little harder for him with the lead we already have?
I mean, those were the big hits, Frank, and those were obviously huge, swings in the game there. And the one me and you talked about a lot at the game when it happened was the going for it on 4th down at the 30-yard line in the first half. I believe it was 4th and 3, maybe 4th and 4. It was not a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. It was several yards. And instead of kicking the 48-yard field goal indoors with an NFL kicker, Dan Campbell decided to go for it, did not get it. And we said through the whole game, hey, it would have been nice to have a field goal here. Hey, it would have been nice to have a field goal here. Hey, it would have been nice to have a field goal here. I mean, there's a difference between being aggressive and being reckless, and he coached that game recklessly. He was aggressive in Kansas City. He was reckless week 2. I understand that's his mantra. However, there's a fine line between being aggressive and using analytics and being reckless and just going off emotion. And I felt that he felt the emotion of the stadium and of the game and kind of lost a little bit of control during that game. And ultimately, that was the biggest factor to them losing, was coaching as a whole, whether it was him and or the defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn.
Oh, and I agree totally with you guys. And the other thing that was frustrating, it's like you want to play big dick and be aggressive the whole entire game. And then we get the ball. We're driving down 3 after scoring a touchdown. We make a great play, which was probably one of the most electric plays of the game when we got that sack on 3rd and long that you recorded, Frank. That was fucking awesome. We get the ball back. We drive all the way down. There's 50 seconds left. We have 3 timeouts. And we don't fucking use any of the timeouts. We let the clock get down to 30 seconds and we play for the field goal to go to overtime. But you're playing Big Dick Henry the whole entire game, going for it on 4th and short, going for it in your own side of the field. But you don't try to score a touchdown to win the game. Like, that's kind of disheartening.
And I thought it would get better and easier the longer we got removed from the game. But did you guys hear Dan Campbell double down on it yesterday in an interview on the radio? He said, this is not an end of the game scenario in my mind. That is end of half. That's like we're at the end of the second quarter is how we're playing that scenario.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't really
the game's over if you win.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. And he prefaced it with saying, so we know at worst, that's what we need to end up with. At best, we're going to get a touchdown.
But yeah, so the argument there, and the argument I have is like, I didn't need them to necessarily go all out for a touchdown, right? Like I didn't need them to run every single play like they needed to pick up 15 or 16 yards. I wanted them to take one shot, and they picked up a first down. They were at the 30-yard line ish. And
35-ish, right?
Yeah, and they let the clock go from 50 to 25. And that was the time where it was like we had 2 timeouts, bang one, draw up a play towards the sideline, and see if you can't pick up 10 or 15. And if you do, bang the other timeout and either go from there or do your run play and then use the second timeout. And you know what I mean? Like, I didn't need them to go all for it. I needed them to take one shot at it. Am I frozen again? You guys hear me?
Yeah,
now
you're back now. Yep.
Damn, I don't know why it keeps doing that. I think it recorded me, but basically I just said I just needed them to take one shot at from when it went from 50 to 25.
Dude, and we were moving the ball. You know what I mean? It's not like they were stopping us. And we have 2 timeouts. Take a shot down the middle of the field, get close to the 15-yard line. You can throw it out of the back of the end zone, worst case scenario. I don't know. I feel like, we already have given up 30 plus points. Do we really want to go to overtime and risk giving them the ball back? It's not like we're playing good on defense.
Yeah. And
let's just
go. Yeah.
Go. Yeah. Let's just put it bluntly. Dan Campbell had an absolute brain malfunction at the end of the game. His in-game coaching has not and was not good this past week. And you look at it, just think of this premise. You have 3 timeouts left inside the 30-yard line with 26 seconds. You can barely get off 3 timeouts at that point. You don't save timeouts for when you have a short field. You can run up to the line and spike it in 5 seconds. You don't need the timeouts when you're that close. I'd rather be 50 seconds left with 2 timeouts. I can run up after a 10 or 15-yard pass if I need to and clock it if I really have to. Or if I'm inside the 20, I can run up and do that in 3 seconds. But to be saving those timeouts, it didn't make any sense regardless of whether you were playing a second quarter scenario or an end of the game. Like, you can't take your timeouts with you. So slow down, use it. Your team was banged up. They needed to catch their breath a little after such a crazy fourth quarter. None of it made sense from any time management perspective as far as an NFL game should be coached.
Yeah, and back to what Pizzo said, like, the way he coaches, it double made no sense. Like, we foregoed field goals, we foregoed punting to be this aggressive ass team, and then when it was like time to be like mildly aggressive, and not to mention you have one of, if not the like safest quarterbacks there is. I do know he threw a pick six this last week, but I kind of think that was on the route Gibbs ran. Goff is a very safe quarterback. When he gets in trouble, he gets rid of the ball. He puts it in spots where only his receiver can get it. He's the guy you want to try to take that shot at the end of the game, because he's either going to put it where it needs to be or it's going to land safely, harmlessly to the ground. So I fucking hated it. We all fucking hated it. The whole stadium hated it. No one understood it. And then you could just feel the collective doom and gloom when that coin toss hit. I mean, we knew the defense was running ragged. We knew fucking for whatever goddamn reason we couldn't stop Geno Smith and the passing attack. Kenny Walker was picking up yards. We lose that coin toss. We kick it out of the back of the end zone, and they go, what, 9 plays in 4 minutes? Easy peasy. 1 third down I think they faced maybe.
One. That was it. And it was like 3rd and 2.
Yeah. Like inside the 15.
On our side of the field.
Yes.
It was a pretty easy drive for them for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't think we had one sack the whole game besides that 3rd down in the fourth quarter, right?
Hey, I one up you. I don't think we've had one sack outside of that all season, because that is the only sack, and it was by a linebacker, not even a defensive lineman. The schematics of the defense, and we're not going to get too deep into X's and O's, but Frank, Lou, we were looking at each other all game saying, play up on these guys. It was like 5-yard outs, 8-yard outs. So I looked at the passing chart after the game. They had 3 completions over 15 yards all game. 3 completions. That is also not going to help a struggling pass rush, giving them the ability to get the ball out of your hands so quickly. Something had to change. You had to blitz to get the rush so it could get there quickly, or you had to press and make them try to throw it over the top and let our D-line try to get home on them. But when you have a struggling defensive line, you can't play 10, 15 yards off the ball and let them just dink and dunk underneath. And can I add, it looks very early. It's very early, but that Jalen Carter dropping to the Eagles and us trading down looks like a very big black eye on Brad Holmes and what he decided to do. First and foremost, his character wasn't in question, besides obviously the huge incident that was at hand. But second and more importantly was his on the game play, what he could do for you on the field, how he could affect this team. We don't have any D-line depth right now. We're out James Houston now. We don't have that second guy to Aiden Hutchinson who can help him maybe alleviate some of these double teams. But when Jalen Carter has more pressures than Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and Aaron Donald through 2 weeks, and more hurries than Quinnen Williams, Micah Parsons, and TJ Watt, you have to start questioning some of the moves we didn't make to get this team better prior to the start of the season.
Right. I agree, Chandler. And the bigger problem with that, too, is the 2 guys that we got in that trade, Gibbs, we've barely used. Ben Johnson makes it sound like we're going to be lining this guy up all over the field, using him in jet motion, using him in the slot, getting him open in space. Like, we haven't done any of that. And the other guy, Jack Campbell, played awesome in pass coverage against Kansas City. And I think our linebackers went 14 for 14 in like 200 yards that they gave up in coverage against Disley and Noah Fant. Yeah. Why the fuck isn't Jack Campbell in the game, dude? It makes no fucking sense to me on pass coverage.
Well, in addition, Lou, Jack Campbell's our fastest linebacker. And if we're going to bring pressure, you want your fastest linebackers in the game to get to the quarterback. I don't get it either. I don't understand why he's not playing. I just don't understand a lot of what they're doing with a lot of these young guys who can and probably should be a big part of both our offensive and defensive game plans.
Yeah, boys. I mean, it was so frustrating. The most we used Swift in that game was as a decoy on that fourth down when we did the end around to, or not the end around, but we did like the sneaky handoff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, the misdirection. That's where we used Gibbs the most. And then he did let one slip right through his fingers.
He did.
We had a perfect angle on that. We thought he could have went for 30 yards. And just to double down on some off-season decisions involving Philadelphia, DeAndre Swift, I think we could use him right now.
Frank.
Oh, my God.
There you go. You're back.
Man,
Just to double down on some off-season decisions.
Yes, just to double down on some off-season decisions involving Philly, like DeAndre Swift. I'm not saying I hated that move or anything at the time, but right now, man, it would be really nice to still have DeAndre Swift on the roster.
Oh, you don't want to watch Reynolds run the ball up the middle?
I mean, I just like after him ripping it, and then it's just like, how do we go from having all these backs to now we're down to, the rookie and the practice squad guy?
Well, what did they say after the draft? A lot of people felt like the Lions took luxury picks. And unfortunately, that is what it's looking like 2 weeks into the season, where you took a running back when you're thin in other places, and you didn't take a D lineman where you seem to have no D line help outside of an old Charles Harris and a very subpar interior defensive lineman. We haven't seen anything from Aleem McNeil this year, Arazarike, Broderick Martin, our third-round pick, who we thought was going to be a heavy impact. Pascal was hurt this week. We have had no pressure from the inside. But I don't also want to take the pressure off of Aiden Hutchinson. I want to make the point, and I want to, tell our listeners, hey, everyone's saying, and I'm hearing a lot, well, he's getting double-teamed and he has no help. You're the number 2 pick. Myles Garrett gets double-teamed. Nick Bosa gets double-teamed. TJ Watt gets double-teamed. Micah Parsons gets double-teamed. You get the picture. All these guys were top picks, and that's what happens when you're a top pick. And the good from the average from the great are determined by things like that when you're getting double-teamed and when the offensive line is focusing their protection on your side of the line.
Yeah, he felt invisible. He felt invisible at the game. And what's the stat that always comes out? QB hurries, whatever that phantom
it's fucking
stat
the
is.
worst, stupidest stat ever made.
He led the league in QB hurries or something like that this week. So
that's
what everyone wants to lean
Smith threw
on.
for fucking 40,000 yards against us.
He hurried us into an L. Hurried him down the field.
Oh,
Man.
I know.
Well, hopefully we fix some stuff here this week.
That's right.
Atlanta coming to our barn. Let's not be huge Debbie Downers, but just a lot of boneheaded mistakes that kept us from winning that game that I think we were in control of.
It is so nuts though how from week 1 beating the Chiefs on the road, the excitement going in, and then you have a game like that, everything we just talked about, and then the injury to insult, I guess if you will, is just Houston going down. CJ Gardner-Johnson going down was absolutely killer. I mean, Decker didn't practice today. Kirby Joseph didn't practice today. David Montgomery might be out.
St. Brown's day today.
Yep, he's got hopefully not turf toe. Vaitai went down in that game. Mosley is still not playing. Limited. Josh Reynolds hurt his groin. Apparently was limited today. Ragnow is just always kind of fighting through some shit. So it was just
turf toe for a fucking eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be all negative, and I do think we're going to beat the Falcons this week, but this sucked. I mean, there is no two ways about it. To lose some of these guys this early after being so high to kind of come crashing down to reality, it hurt. I've been fucking bumming out for a couple days.
And I don't want to what Chandler said too about having luxury picks in the draft. It's like, okay, now we have no one to actually fill needs.
Right. Exactly. And I don't want to like place the blame on any one person or one thing, but Frank, you did kind of say before week 1 that if we won week 1, we were going to revert to the mean and we were going to come crashing down. And if we lost, we were going to be ready. The up down theory. Don't think I didn't see the clip you posted today. So I don't want to blame one person, but I know we have a lot of people listening to you and now recognizing you on the streets. And I think maybe some of the Lions players took to what you said prior to week 1 and took it a little too much to heart.
Yeah, CJ did put my mask thing on his story, so maybe he just fucking went in the locker room and ripped that pec right in half. Maybe that's what happened. Yeah, I wish I could be right
with a pair of scissors.
I wish I could be right about the shit I bet on, as opposed to like the stuff my like heart is like emotionally involved in. Fucking A. I have a question for you guys. And I proposed it. I might have asked you guys. I don't know. Kind of Sunday's like a blur. Would you have, with everything we did, going to Tailgate, being at the game, all the bets we placed, whatever it was, would you trade the two days? Would you trade the wins? Would you rather have lost to Kansas City, like if we lost 21-20, like hard fought game, close game, lose 21-20 Kansas City, and then beat the Seahawks at home while we're there, and it's, we're feeling buzzing, happy, all that. Like, would you switch it if you had the opportunity?
I personally wouldn't, because we chased down the Lions all Kansas City game. I won way more on Kansas City than I lost on this game.
Go right back to the sports book with the answer.
Yeah, right. Just strictly business for Channy.
Betting aside, fuck yeah, dude. Like we beat a Kelsey list. I'm not Mike Tirico in anything, but we beat a Kelsey list and Chandler Jones list team. Like it was a great fought win and on the road. But Chris Jones. But dude, fuck man, that we would have been downtown till midnight if we won that game.
If Gibbs would have scored if Gibbs scores an overtime touchdown, like we haven't left. Like I would still,
and I don't think we've beaten Seattle. Like I think they've beaten us 5 out of the last 6 times we played them. They fucking have dominated us.
I think it's 5 in a row, Pizzo. I think it's 5.
Okay, well, I think it's 5 in a row.
Yeah, I don't.
I thought I saw 1-9 since 2000 against Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think of all the games like that you remember. They're all L's. I think that's just our team. Yeah. I mean, that's just the team that eats us alive. Like we don't beat the Seahawks.
Yeah. I'm ready to kind of move on though, because it was such a good day. I don't want to dwell on it, and we're just going to beat the fuck out of the Falcons this week. Let's just come out and say that right off the rip.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Tracy Walker. Was a starter, got hurt, got replaced, got bumped down the depth chart, and now he's starting again. It's wild how that works. So I'm looking forward for Atlanta Falcons, for Tracy Walker to have a day, kind of get back on track. That's what I'm looking for the most for Sunday.
And this should be a good day for Hutch, for Kaminsky, for our linebacking core. It's like Atlanta has Ritter and Pitts, who they don't use, and the rest of it's a 3-headed backfield with Bijan, Allier, and Pat and Cordell. So I feel like they're going to try to run the ball. We should be able to stop it, and let's score some points and fucking win this game.
Load up the box, make Desmond Ritter beat you as a team. I do think with how everything went last week, with playing Bijan this week, I really do think, I know we took him last week, that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get featured this week.
Yeah.
You essentially took Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan Robinson by trading back and stating that you wanted a running back. So I think they're going to try to justify their pick a little bit more this week. And the Falcons are unproven. 2 home games. They beat the lifeless Panthers in Bryce Young's first start, and they had a great fourth quarter against Green Bay, but 3 quarters of that game, they played like shit. So I don't think they're much. I don't want to say must win. This is a big game, though, for the Lions. It's not a must win. This is a huge game, though, getting only 4 days rest and having to go to Green Bay that following Thursday. 2-1 going into Green Bay is a lot different than 1-2. And on short rest, we know how hard it can be to turn on that short of rest, especially with a team that's already banged up. So big game, close to a must win. They're going to get it done. they're going to get it done.
Yeah, I totally agree. But just in general, no matter who they're playing, even if they had the fucking Chiefs again, you want to be considered a top 5 team. You want to be considered, the kings of the North, and you're crowning ourselves champions already. 2 back-to-back home games versus less than opponents. I mean, you got to go 1-1. You got to win this game.
Yep.
I don't care who the fuck they're playing, honestly. Like, you got to defend the fucking den. We're supposed to have a big home field advantage. They got to win this fucking game. I don't care how banged up they are or any excuses that they have. Got to win this game.
Yep, I'm with you, boys. Let's get it done. What do you guys got score predictions for this game?
I think they're going to keep it pretty conservative this game. I think the defense is going to have a bounce back because I do think there's a lot of heat on the defense. I believe it's going to be a slower game with all the injuries and with the way that the Falcons play. So I'm going to go Detroit Lions 27, Atlanta Falcons 20.
Okay. I do unfortunately think this game is going to be a little closer than we would like. I have a feeling it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but they're going to get it done. I think it's going to be like something weird. So I'm going to go Detroit 26, Atlanta 23.
Okay. I'm pretty close to you guys as well. And I think this game's going to be tight, but I think that we are going to pull through in the second half. We're going to score some points. I like the Lions getting to 28 this game and the Falcons getting to 21.
Okay. All right. Did you write that down, Channy?
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. So I know we were all hanging out Sunday. It wasn't your typical Red Zone Sunday where we're watching any of the games, but I wanted to see if you guys had any other notes from around the NFL before we move into some more loose shit.
I'll do a couple quick hits for you. Ready? Broncos stink. They're terrible.
Dude, literally number one on my notes, I just have Denver is a joke.
Denver's a joke. That's a great way to put it. Dallas is for real. I think Dallas is the third, possibly the second best team in the NFC this year, and this might actually be the year that they make it to the NFC Championship game. So I think Dallas is for real. I think the Broncos stink, and I think Deshaun Watson has had the biggest fall off in anyone's career in NFL history.
I will, since you're talking about Deshaun, he's awful, and they still owe him, I think, $140 million, if not more than that, which is just astronomical numbers I can't even picture. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are the hardest team to watch on the offensive side of the ball. It is.
Those Monday night games were brutal.
And they are still getting primetime games. Like, they have a Sunday night this week, right? They play the Raiders on Sunday Night Football this week.
How about this? They play the Raiders on Sunday night, and the Giants play on Thursday night without Saquon Barkley.
Oh, my God. That's insane. Other things I need to note, Channy's Super Bowl champions are 0-2 with the Bengals losing to the Ravens.
Right where we want them. We got everyone right where we want them. I didn't take them preseason. I got better odds now. This is all part of the plan.
That was actually one of my notes, are the Bengals frauds. Because they might be fraudulent.
And then I don't know if you guys saw the end of that Dolphins-Patriots game where the Patriots did the lateral back to the offensive lineman, and he caught it like on a spin move, which was absolutely incredible, like to watch an offensive lineman be that athletic. He clearly picks up the first down, and they gave him the first on the field, and then they reviewed it and called it not a first down. I just felt like the Patriots got fucking hosed there, and I feel like if a play that unique and that cool happens with that in that time of the game and it's called on the field, just fucking keep it. Like, there's got to be someone upstairs being like, hey, should we make the game more exciting? Like, and it, like, literally no one will argue this call because there's nothing inconclusive that says he didn't make it. Like, I don't know why they don't keep that game going. So that play was fucking bonkers to me.
Yeah. I also want to follow up with what I said earlier. Bryce Young, he stinks. And I'm going to follow that up for the rest of the year. He stinks. Baltimore's a wagon. If they didn't lose JK, that team is fucking dangerous. And I don't think the Titans are going to be as bad as people think this year either. I think the Titans are not too shabby.
Yeah, we should actually make like lists of where people stand. And for my not too shabby, I think the Rams might be not too shabby.
Wow. So we got the Titans and the Rams is not too shabby. I got made fun of this year for them, so I'm just going to stick with it because I actually do think they're kind of good. I don't think the Bucs are too shabby. I think they look good, and I think they're going to be an above 500 team still.
I mean, Chandler, you picked them to win the division, and they're definitely on the not too shabby list. I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah.
This line for this week, the Monday night game, is that this week? Sometimes I get too far ahead of myself.
Yes, it is. Philly Buccaneers.
Yeah, it's a 4.5 line. That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah. Baker full unit.
Fuck you, man. Okay. All right. So let's do some picks. Let's do some picks for Sunday, and then we're gonna talk about some other stuff, and then get an over under and close it up. So, who wants to lead off with the picks for Sunday?
Let me start, Coach. Let me start. Put me in, Coach.
You got it.
All right. I am going to go with a NFC North team. And it's a team that we're going to be watching a lot of film on this week, and that's the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are at home hosting the New Orleans Saints. Green Bay comes off a loss in which they blew a double-digit fourth-quarter lead. The Saints have scored 3 touchdowns in 2 games this year and are somehow 2-0. Derek Carr stinks. The Saints offense stinks. The Saints defense is good. They've held opponents to under 20 or less, in the last 10 games, although they're only 6-4 in that time span. I think fraud alert are the Saints. Green Bay comes back home. Christian Watson practiced today. Aaron Jones questionable. I think he's going to see some time. I like the Green Bay Packers -2 at home against the Saints. This is more about the Saints being frauds than Green Bay being anything. Give me the Pack minus.
Frozen Frank over there, if you don't mind. There we go. We're back. And I'm going to stay with the not too shabby trend. And I'm going to jump on my boys over at Tennessee, traveling to Cleveland, getting 3.5 points. We already talked about Watson. He's looked like shit. Chubb had one of the nastier injuries I've seen in a long time. God bless his knee. He seems like such a good dude, too. I feel for the guy. But I think the Titans are strong right now. They're going to roll in there. They're going to run all over them. Give me Tennessee plus 3.5.
Okay, I like it. I had my eye on that one as well. I think it's a little too – I think that half point is going to make a difference in that one. Okay, I'm pointing at a game which I think is going to be a pretty damn exciting 1 o'clock Sunday game between two teams who have underachieved so far this year. And I will argue the loser of this game, their season is dead. Their season is dead. The other one has life if they win this game. The one who loses it is dead. And that is the Los Angeles Chargers going to Minnesota this Sunday, 1 o'clock. Chargers favored at -1.5 going to the Minnesota Vikings. Give me the Vikings there at +1.5. Chargers are banged up. They're without Eckler. They've had a mess of a season. 1 o'clock game, West Coast team. I think the Vikings are not going to die on this season yet. I think Kirk's got a little magic in him. Give me the Vikings +1.5 at home versus the Chargers.
Okay.
Had that on my sheet. So I'm going to have to now use my Monday night pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to quote the show Star Trek Voyager, in which Captain Janeway said to Naomi Wildman, there are 3 things to remember about being a captain. Keep your shirt tucked in, go down with the ship, and never abandon a member of your crew. The Bengals are 0-2. A lot of people are hopping off. A lot of people aren't believing in them. Not this guy. Not this guy. Not now. Not in September. Bengals hosting the Rams on Monday night, only giving 2.5. Big game for Burrow. Big game for Chase. Anytime touchdown, Jamar Chase. Sprinkle a little 2. If you get high, maybe throw a little nickel on a 3. Give me the Bengals minus 2.5. They get themselves right against a team traveling cross country on Monday night. Give me the Bengals minus 2.5 at home against the Rams.
Okay.
Wow. I'm going to go with one of the first, I believe, of the season to take this one with 2 high-powered offenses rolling into East Rutherford on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Your New England Patriots and your New York Jets, and give me the motherfucking under of that game. It's 37 I'm seeing. There's 2 shitbag offenses with two pretty good defenses. I think that game is going to be an absolute fucking snooze fest. Give me the under 37 Jets at home against the Pats.
Wow, taking unders. That is not a people or a crowd pleaser. But
Sunday unders.
But money is money. Someone's got to do it. All right, guys. I actually am a little proud of us. Like, one thing we haven't talked about, one thing no one did, but I'm going to fucking do it. There are absolute, like, the most lopsided matchups, a collection of lopsided matchups I've ever seen in 1 week in the NFL. You have the New York Giants going to San Fran without Saquon Barkley. That is a 10.5 spread. I'm not going to, I mean, that's not as bad. I'll save that one for like last because it's like an honorable mention. You have the Chicago Bears, who are a literal dumpster fire right now. I don't know what's going on with their front office. Fields is like blaming coaching for his robotic play. There's like rumors of like FBI raids going on for like their coaches. You have their defensive coordinator resigning. That Bears team goes into Kansas City with a 12.5-point line, absolutely monster line for week 3 for 2 NFL teams. Then you have arguably the hottest team in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, going to arguably the worst team in the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. They are a 12-point favorite, 12.5. And then the honorable mention I was going to say was the Bills going to Washington, which is not as crazy of a line or as big of a blowout as you would think, but definitely some lopsided things on paper. And in the spirit of just being a Detroit Lions fan and wanting to kick a rival while they're down, I am going to take this Chiefs line of 12.5. I think it's one of those where you say that's too big of a line, but I think it's one of those where it's just that big of a line that it's going to be that ugly of a game, like a 38-10, 38-7 type deal. Kansas City Chiefs have no excuse not to beat the living piss out of the Chicago Bears. Give me the Chiefs minus 12.5.
I'm with you on that one, Frank. That's going to be a fucking barn beat down.
I don't see how it's not. After this week they're having, it just makes no sense to me.
Lou, I like your train of thought, though. I think on Sunday last week, only one under hit. So you're using the law of averages to now take an under this week, as we should see more unders than overs.
That actually went into my pick, Chandler, so thank you for bringing that up.
No, I don't think it did, but you're welcome for justifying your pick.
The Houston Texans are 8.5-point dogs going into Jacksonville. And then you have, who are the Colts? The Colts got some fucking shitty matchup too. They're playing the Ravens and they're 7.5-point dogs. I mean, just these spreads are just huge for week 3.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely huge. Last note on this, there's a very fun bet. If you want like a fun bet, I kind of forgot about this bet and then my buddy reminded me of it. It's a great Thursday night football bet, but not for this week. Thursday night football, you know, they're normally slow, sluggish games. For whatever reason, bad teams play on that night. It's no team to score 3 consecutive times in a row. It's actually a fun bet because every time someone new scores, it's like the bet resets and you feel like you've won every time that the bet comes along. So if you want to play along with this fun bet, Sunday night football is the perfect game for this bet. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Las Vegas Raiders, two very bad teams just trying to keep the ball in front of them. For either one of these teams to try to put 3 scores together consecutively is going to be pretty tough. So if you want a fun bet, no team to score 3 consecutive times, Steelers, Raiders is a good one. Honorable mention for that bet, Browns, Titans.
Side note before we pivot into our game is, did you guys see that bet on FanDuel that hit this week? The 200 to 1.
That was crazy.
200 to 1, every team to make a field goal on all the Sunday games. And the controversy around it was DraftKings had it at 125 to 1, and some other sites were offering it as low as 30 to 1. FanDuel somehow screwed up their algorithms, offered it at 200 to 1, and from what I heard today, took a $20 million loss because so many people took that bet on Sunday.
Darn, I feel so bad for FanDuel.
Yeah. I gave him about that same amount because Gibbs didn't score a fucking touchdown on Sunday.
Frank's living up to HQ now.
Yeah, I am. I seriously am. Okay. Good shit, boys. Good picks. So we're going to do a snake draft of dog breeds. But the reason we're doing that, I wanted to share this story. And I don't know who knows it, who doesn't know it, but I feel like it's been kind of under wraps. So today, in the Grosse Pointe Shores neighborhood of Michigan, they voted 4-3 to ban pit bulls. A breed-wide ban of pit bulls has happened in Grosse Pointe Shores. Okay, sounds pretty on brand for that community to do something like that. But let's dig a little deeper. The reason this happened is because Detroit Lions running back David Montgomery's dog his pit bull bit another dog's legs so hard that it had to have the leg amputated. So, yeah, bad stuff, like really bad stuff. So let me pull this thing up. I got some deets for you guys. But essentially that was voted on today. And let me read you just a little bit of the details. This caused a lot of controversy within the Grosse Pointe Shores community. So here we go. Lola, beloved by Montgomery's girlfriend, Tatum Causey, caused far more serious injuries when the dog escaped in June from the house that the two had just moved in 2 days prior, according to city officials. Lola's vice-like jaws bit a cockapoo so hard that the canine victim needed a leg amputated. Its owners, Mark and Dana Owen, had been walking their pooch in front of the Montgomery's house. They also suffered injuries as they tried to extract their pet from the attacker. According to the lawsuit filed, they are seeking damages from Montgomery and Causey. After the attack, Lola's owners agreed to have their dog euthanized. City officials said before Tuesday's meeting. Under the city's existing blah, 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 blah. And the surgery cost $16,000. So definitely a sad note. This is not like an uplifting story whatsoever. And once you hear that story, you kind of think about your dogs, you think about your pets, and you're like, man, maybe I agree with the ban, but I absolutely do not at all. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. David Montgomery is a millionaire. This is a very, very unfortunate event. I just feel like if it happened to me, which is like a crazy scenario, I wouldn't need another dog to die and to ban that breed of dogs from my neighborhood. I would probably just say, hey, you're a running back in the NFL. I need a lot of money. I need a lot of money. That's just me. That's my thought on it. Love to hear your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, I don't think that every other dog owner that owns a pit bull should have to suffer because one owner didn't properly train their dog. And like you said, Frank, I would definitely be asking for a big load of money. And unfortunately, it's like you can't risk the dog being out there. What if that was a little kid? What if that was, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't
True.
another dog. Like, it could have killed somebody. Like, unfortunately, if you have a pit bull, you have to train it properly. And I've been around a ton of pit bulls in my life, and they're not bad dogs. It's all about who your owner is, how you train them, and being an NFL player. I'm sure he's not home all the time. He's not fucking taking care of it all the time. He probably has somebody that does a lot of it for him. If you don't do it right, especially with that type of dog breed, it has a short leash, and dude, they'll kill you. You know, they have the lockjaw. So yeah. It sucks,
very unfortunate, and I don't even know what the equivalent is. It can't be racism because they're not different races, but to just ban a whole breed, like what happens if you're a current pit? Like I don't understand what happens to the current pit bull owners.
The current pit bulls are grandfathered in. That's in the article as well. So current pit bulls are grandfathered in. You have to get them registered. The racism piece is definitely interesting. It's a very popular breed with African Americans. It's Grosse Pointe Shores. You know, there's a lot of questions being asked of what's the real motivation behind banning the pit bull. You know, and is it just one dog biting another dog, or is there, deeper shit involved? That's not really this type of podcast, but it's definitely something noted in the article that I have shared with you guys.
Yeah, I think my point is just like, how can you? What's the word for it? Breedism. Like you're banning a breed. Like Lou said, like it doesn't matter to me. The breed of dog doesn't matter. It's the person who's training and owning the dog. And you can have mutts that go wild and rip things up. You can have the nicest pit bulls and Rottweilers and Dobermans on the earth. It's up to the owner and his or her responsibility, no matter how big, how small. You are the parent of that dog. And it's unfortunate that one incident, I don't know, maybe there's more stuff to this. Maybe it's a string of incidents. But from what I'm gathering, from what you told us, it seems like this one incident triggered it. And it doesn't make much sense to me that one incident can dictate a whole citywide ban on what to me is a choice for an individual to make.
Yeah, and I mean, they put the dog down. Like, that was probably, they put the dog down. What now did they have to – now they have to be the family that caused the ban of the entire breed too, I'm sure they're paying for all the surgeries and everything, and there is a court case. They're being civilly charged and everything. And it's just a bummer. Like, I feel like this has not been covered a lot, which I'm actually happy about. Like, we don't need to beat this guy up about this. Like, this sucks. But it's just interesting. Like, it was funny. You said today, Chandler, like, did you see they banned pit bulls in Grosse Pointe Shores? And I was just like, dude, that was David Montgomery. And you didn't even know, because, like, I feel like it just hasn't been talked about. So I hope David's liking it here. It sounds like he moved into his house. This happened. Had to put his dog down. Now he's already injured. Like, whew. Hate hearing that.
Bad string of luck.
Thanks. We're with you, Monty. The Fizz Army's with you.
Always, buddy. Always. So didn't mean to bring it down there, but it was the lead into our snake draft, which is the dog snake draft, which we're going to do here. So everyone knows how snake drafts works. We pick our dogs, we build our teams, and then we talk about who's got the best one. So who should go first? How should we do this?
Where's your shitty wheel, Frank?
Oh, yeah, my shitty wheel. I can pull up my shitty wheel. All right, hold on. Pulling up the shitty wheel.
There we go. Pick up the wheel. And let it be known, like, I actually studied for this because I'm, not a big dog person and I can't identify dogs. I had to, look up what a dog of a certain breed looked like. Obviously, you have your 5 or 6 that you know, but, there were several that I liked what the dog was. I just didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, I think that's normal for most people. I had to look up the actual names of a few. I know them by okay, Pizzo, shut up, Pizzo, shaking his head.
Yeah, Pizzo's he's living out in the woods with one.
Yeah.
It's like a wolf. He's going to take a wolf.
Hey, fucking dog guy, all right?
Eats his
Nothing
dinner
wrong
like
with being
dog.
a dog guy.
I'm spinning the wheel. First pick. All right, wheel's spinning. Spins way too long. Okay, like there's 3 names. It shouldn't spin this long. Oh, bullshit. That's a new wheel. It's a new wheel. It does stuff.
Wow.
Pizzo gets first pick.
Wow.
Pizzo gets first pick.
All right.
Let's see who gets second pick. Hold on.
Okay.
It's going to spin for a minute again. All right, yeah, this is a new wheel I don't normally use. It spins for way too long.
Can you explain how it works?
Yeah, so I put the names in. I got second pick, you fucking cock. So
So what, like, tell the viewers that are
Sounds like
listening.
a Mario minigame.
yeah, it did. Well, Chandler gets last pick, and he doesn't even like dogs, so I think that's pretty fucking fitting.
Chandler's
Lead it
a
off.
cat guy.
Dog draft.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go with the fucking all-American dog, dude. Number 1, the golden retriever,
Knew it.
family-oriented, cutest puppy. You can take them hunting. You can have them guard your kid. You can have them. You can ride them when you're little. They're amazing. They're soft. They're friendly. They're cute. What's not to like about them? Give me the golden retriever.
They really are really good dogs. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious what I'm going to go with here. I'm taking the English Bulldog. That is what Hank is. They've been my favorite dogs forever. The hockey team I grew up playing on was the Bulldogs. I fucking love them. I will say they are the complete opposite of a golden retriever. Two of my really good buddies have golden retrievers, and when they listen, like just their listening and like them obeying you blows my fucking mind. Like when you tell them to do something and they fucking do it. Because Hank and English Bulldogs like go out of their way to just not listen to you whatsoever. But
Do the opposite of what you tell them.
exactly. So I'm taking the meatball English Bulldog, second overall pick.
All right. I'm going to go with it since we talked about him. Number 3 overall, I'm going to go with the Pit Bull. I think
Fuck
the
yeah.
Pit Bull is a great dog. I think it's kind of got that American muscle. All the Pit Bulls I've ever met, everyone always gives them a bad rap. They're always very nice. Every stereotype that's said about them is not really true. I like how smooth they are, and I just think they're cool dogs. I really do think they're cool dogs. So I'm going to go with the I like the Newfoundlands, big boys, 100+ pound dogs. They're very. My aunt had a couple when I lived with her, and they're companions to you. The one bad thing about them, since they're so big, their lifespan's a little shorter. It's like 10 to 12 years as compared to getting into the teens with a lot of other breeds. But really playful, really gentle dogs. Although they're 110 pounds, I'll go with the Newfoundland with my second pick.
Dope. I cut out there, or I froze. I don't know why I'm fucking freezing. But Chandler did say my favorite note about pit bulls that he kind of like scooted by real quick was that they're smooth. He likes that they're smooth, and I thought that
Nice and
was
smooth.
Yeah, I like that. Speaking of smooth dogs, very close to a pit bull, but slightly different. For my pick, I am going to take a Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
All right.
Pizzo, you know what that is, right?
Yeah.
No, you don't, you fucking liar.
Bull Terrier.
Yeah, dude, look them up. They rock. It's like in between, like
They're kind of like a pit bull.
yes, they look like a pit bull, but they're a little like
They have the pointy ears.
yeah, they're smaller and
Okay, Frankie Westminster.
A lot of Latinos like the terriers.
yeah,
bull
dude, they're
terriers.
great dogs. They're cute little guys. They're like a mix between a pit bull and like an American bulldog. Like they're pretty badass.
They're ugly.
Whatever, dude. You guys fucking suck. I love those dogs. Staffordshire. I love that dog.
Frank and Hank are going to be trotting at the Westminster this year doing their tricks.
No, dude. Hank would take a dump right in the middle of the floor and
Then lay down.
Yeah, and then, yeah. He's not fucking winning. A bulldog did win that though, like a few years ago.
Well, with my second pick, I am going to go with the Winter Wonderland workhorse. Give me the Husky.
Wow.
Jug, absolute jug, Did I mention that they were a jug?
Shut up.
Give me the winter workhorse, the husky.
You're up again, fuck boy.
Sure. On the back-to-back, I'm going to go with the other jug, the bigger jug, the American Great Dane. It's actually not the American, but just the regular old Great Dane. Big, they look intimidating. They're actually super friendly. Good guys. Short lifespan, like Chandler said, but very good guys. Not quite as smooth, a little braille. But give me the bigger jug and the Great Dane.
Shut up. Dude, Great Danes like freak me out. They're so fucking big. They freak me out. They're too big. Great Danes are too big. But I will say, Pizzo, I had Husky on the list, but I did have a backup just in case the Husky got taken, which it did. Very close to a Husky, but honestly a little bit bigger, a little bit furrier, the Alaskan Malamute. Those things fucking rock. Chandler has no idea what these dogs are, and it's fucking hilarious. The Alaskan Malamute rocks. That's what I'm taking for my last pick.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Alaskan Malamute,
they're like fucking
Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
They're like wolves, dude. Can you imagine having like
Nova Scotian Peabody? I mean, what the fuck is going on, man? This is I'm looking all these up as you guys are you as you're saying your breeds. So RIP to one of the OGs in the game. My wife's dog, had her for a long time. She was a Yorkie Shih Tzu. She's not a Yorkie, and she's not a Shih Tzu. She's a Yorkie Shih Tzu. I'm going to go with Yorkie Shih Tzus as my third best breed. It's a personal pick. They're not that smooth. They're kind of hairy, but at the end of the day, Pebbles was a great dog. And I don't care what if it is or isn't the best breed. I'm paying my respects and my dues.
We respect the hell out of that. Dude, Pebbles was a fucking jug, and we know it. Everyone should know that Pebbles is a fucking jug. Great drafts. Great drafts. You know, all dogs go to heaven. All dogs rock. So good picks there. Pizzo gets a golden retriever, a husky, and a Great Dane. I got an English Bulldog, a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, an Alaskan Malamute, and Chandler's got a Pit Bull, a Newfoundland, and Pebbles the fucking Yorkie Shih Tzu who rocks. R.I.P.
Great. Can you please post on Champagne this week a picture of an Alaskan Malamute and see how many people call it that?
I actually am just gonna post on the story and say what breed is this dog, and see, and everyone's gonna say husky. Everyone will
know. It's just a big husky.
That's all it is.
Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Dude, people are gonna know these dogs, man. I don't care. I know my dog knowledge. Sorry I prepared for the fucking bit and you just fucking just said pit bull because we were talking about it. You were like so fuck off, Chandler. Sorry I did my research. Yeah, you may have studied the Lions defense. I studied my dogs. All right. So
Scooby-Doo honorable mention.
Yeah, we're going to do cartoon dogs next week. I think there's going to be a dog account. All right. So remember last week Jerry forgot the over-unders?
Yes.
Pizzo wasn't here.
I missed that. Jerry's been 100% when I'm here, so just saying.
Yeah, but he sent them at 11 that night and was like, "Did I miss the Fizz?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, you missed it."
You know you did.
Yeah, I don't know why you're asking that dumbass question. So we're using his from last week. He said they'd still work. I haven't looked at them, so we'll see if they actually do work. If they don't, he just sucks. So LGRW from Jerry, we're going to start. Who had last pick in the draft? It was Chandler. So Chandler will go.
Channy Westminster.
Yeah. You already called me Frankie. Whatever. Anyways, number
Frankie
one.
Stafford Terrier.
Yeah, Staffordshire. Grow up.
Ball liquor.
Yeah, we're recording kind of late. It's getting kind of silly here. Dog draft. We went into the most depressing story about dogs. All right, let's pick some teams.
Oh, man.
Pebbles the jug. All right. Dude,
Yeah, the neighbor's dog's leg got ripped off. So anyway, give me the pit bull.
we're like, yeah. So they banned them. I think it's racist. Is it breedism? We're fucking idiots.
Sociology 101 over here.
Yeah, dude. There's probably so many things wrong with that whole segment. That's not a bit. It's a segment. All right. Number one, Chandler. God, this sucks. Jerry's list already sucks. Buying drinking liquor at a sporting event cannot sneak in.
Okay, so drinking liquor at a sporting event is great. So that's underrated. I know some of us don't buy our stuff at the stadium, but when I do buy liquor at the stadium, it is pretty good. So I'm going to say underrated.
Is he talking about like sneaking in booze to the game?
No, it literally says cannot sneak in. Like in parentheses.
Oh, okay.
I think what he's saying is like we normally drink beers at the game. So
Okay,
how
so
do you
he's
feel
saying
about like
drinking
getting
liquor.
like a cocktail or like getting
Okay,
liquor?
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it me or you?
I think it's me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say underrated. Like I've never been mad when I've had some whiskey at a sporting event. Granted, I normally get beers. Am I frozen? Am I frozen again? Am I frozen? Fuck, I'm frozen, aren't I? Was I frozen?
Yeah.
Why am I fucking
you're back.
freezing? I
You're
pay
back.
so much for this fucking internet. Like this is like the thing that I pay for in this place to not fail is the fucking internet for this podcast.
You shouldn't have tweeted at him.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have fucking tweeted at him. You're right. I'm getting fucking haunted by it. Liquor at the game is underrated. Normally I drink beers, but I'm not mad at any liquor at a fucking sporting event. Underrated. Go, Pizzo.
I'm gonna say it's overrated. It's too small of a amount, and like you always got to get up and get more, and you get fucking charged out the ass for it. It's fucking pain in the ass. Just get a tall boy. Overrated.
I actually don't hate that take at all. Like you do finish it in like 1 second.
Yeah, you like drink all of it before you even get to your seat, and you're like, oh, cool. I didn't even get a fucking buzz off that.
All right, Pizzo, not everyone's trying to get fucking hammered black
What
out
are
at
they
a
doing?
Number 2, Chandler, I think, or me. It's me. It's me. Number 2, taking a shit at a sporting event.
Nice.
Yeah, this is like hell. This is overrated, like big time. I like remember specifically being a kid at Joe Louis Arena, and they had the big troughs, and then they had like one toilet to take a shit. And I remember my dad and I was probably so annoying as a kid, like fighting through like a crowd to finally get to the bathroom. And then I get there and like he's like, all right, get up to the trough. And I'm like, I gotta poop. And he's like, oh well, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. And he made me hold it. And then like I peed and it just made it worse. It just made me have to poop more. And I remember that as a little kid. It's overrated. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm going to go with extremely overrated. It always reminds me of like the Dane Cook skit when he's like, everything's fucking soaking wet. And there's like a guy blasting through the door while you're taking a shit, like shaking it.
Like
It's
wax your knee.
Yes, it's like there's like you're reading shitty graffiti while you're trying to take a shit, and it's just like an absolute nightmare. Half the time there's no toilet paper, or you're wiping your ass with fucking sandpaper that they do provide. Fucking nightmare. Overrated.
Sucks.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how it could be underrated. It's not like it's comfy conditions at a stadium. So you got to be sick in the head to say underrated. I'm going to go with overrated. I did actually, unfortunately, take a shit one time at a Tigers game growing up, and it wasn't in the toilet. It was in my pants. I shit my pants at a Tigers game.
That's how overrated it was.
At Tiger Stadium growing up. And it's an embarrassing story, but something happened. I ate an ice cream and it just didn't sit well, and I shit my pants. And I was wearing gym shorts, and my dad threw my underwear away in the bathroom garbage and washed my pants, my shorts in the toilet at Tiger Stadium.
Oh!
I sat in the stall. And he air dried them under the hand dryer. And
he was like, "We're not leaving. Like, we're sticking this fucking game out."
it was such a hot day. It was dried up by about the 6th inning, but I went commando. I went commando off of a shitty pair of shorts that were washed in a Tiger Stadium toilet.
Oh my God. Your dad couldn't.
What a dedicated fan.
No, yeah, I was going to say, your dad couldn't leave game 53.
Oh my gosh. Oh God.
Awesome.
Dude, that is fucking. Yeah, I don't know how you could make the underrated argument. I don't know how you could find your way into that one. All right, number 3. It was kind of ironic that was number 2.
Hey.
All right, who's up? Is it Pizzo?
Yeah, I think it's me.
Buying merch at the stadium, over or underrated?
Oh, overrated. I get all my shit from China every year. I get multiple jerseys for $30 a pop. I mean, I'm not paying $150 for a fucking jersey when I can get it for $30, and then the numbers rub off in 2 years. Overrated.
Why don't you just tell everyone you cheat on your taxes while you're at it too? Like, I mean, just come on, man. I'm going to say buying merch at the stadium is underrated. I just went to a Rockies game when I was out in Denver, saw a hat for the first time at the stadium that I never saw. So I got a hat that I don't think I could get many other places at the stadium. I'm going to say it's underrated.
Yeah, the prices are definitely overrated, but the experience is underrated. When you mentally commit to buying something in the stadium, it's exhilarating. I love buying shit in the stadium. Just went to Boston, bought a fucking Green Monster hat while we were there. It's good. It's fun stuff. Bought a Tigers hat last couple of last times I was at the Tigers game. Good stuff. I think it's underrated. It's just too expensive. Number 4.
Support China.
He's fucking. I mean, just a couple of notes from Lou today. You know, like he got the free pretzel that we found out he just stole. He's fucking. He's
frozen.
God damn it, dude!
Ball liquor breed.
Am I back?
He's back now.
Am I on?
You're back, yeah.
This is fucking so stupid. Fuck it. I was making fun of Lou. I don't even care anymore. Number 4. Me. Pro mascots. Over or underrated? I gotta say, like, I'm gonna go overrated here. And I think it's just because, like, Detroit sports have kind of like a really shitty collection of mascots, in my opinion. Like, I think Paws is like the biggest pussy I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't like him at all. He should be vicious, and he's like a candy ass. The only thing cool about Paws is that he doesn't wear pants, which is kind of fun, like Pooh Bear style. Rory is like literally forgettable. When was the last time Rory did anything of notable anything? Like, he is the most forgettable mascot we got. The guy does fucking nothing. Doesn't look cool. Doesn't do anything cool. And then Hooper's all right. I think Hooper's actually pretty swaggy. I like Hooper. Hooper in himself is underrated, but I think overall pro mascots are overrated. The Red Wings don't even have one because you gotta nail it for it to work. It's got to be perfect. Overrated.
I'm going to go with underrated. Benny the Bull, the Suns Gorilla, the Philly Fanatic, Mr. Met. These are staples of the sports world. The San Diego Chicken for the Padres.
Gritty.
These are things that go hand in hand with sports, and sports wouldn't be the same without some of these iconic mascots. has their shine rubbed off a little? Yeah, I think they were probably in their prime in their 90s, maybe early 2000s, but nonetheless, mascots are part of the sporting experience. I believe they're underrated.
I'm with you, Chandler. You mentioned a lot of the good ones, and then the BYU Cougar guy. I feel like that guy does like 70 backflips.
Not college, asshole. You think we wouldn't have brought up Sparty, you dumb fuck?
Well, the guys that Chandler said were pretty cool too. And then McGregor, didn't he like knock out the Heat mascot? God bless him. Underrated.
Most ridiculous fucking over-under we've ever had. Okay, this is great. I don't know who's up.
Me.
Bringing your girlfriend or spouse to a sporting event.
Jesus.
Just say it, Chandler. It's okay, man.
I'm just going to say no explanation. Overrated.
It's on me or Frank?
You, Lou.
Oh, overrated. That's all I have to say as well. No thanks.
Underrated. Love my spouse. She's a big sports gal. She loves everything about the games. What do you guys want me to fucking say here? Underrated. I'm going underrated just to make you guys look bad.
Pizza said no thanks.
You said Jesus Christ like when I said it to you.
Chandler was like, I'm just going to not give an explanation. Overrated.
No, dude, underrated. I love going to the games. Honestly, I'm saying underrated. I gotta like Sarah took me to my last game at the Joe. Trying to think of what other ones we did. We've gone to Fenway together. We've had some good times together. I'm going to say underrated. And honestly, her taking me to the last game at the Joe versus Colorado, that's big ups for her. So I'm going to say underrated. And me.
Okay, man. This isn't like do we love our wives over or underrated.
All right. Well, that's episode 116 of the Fizz. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to tell a friend. Let's keep spreading this thing. Got a little silly here late Wednesday night, but we appreciate all of you guys listening. If you're listening on Spotify or iTunes, please rate the show, write a review, share it with a friend. YouTube, we want all the comments, all the likes, all the shares. If you are listening on YouTube or watching us on YouTube, please subscribe, follow on all the socials, visit the store, everything in between. And we will see you guys next week.
Peace.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Did I fucking freeze?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. This is fucking bullshit, dude. Let's just get off.